Hi Giles, we're here at IBC 2025 with Dolby. So let's start from Giles. Why are you doing this in your career?
It's great to see you, Carlo. Well, I've been into sound and audio and video and all of those things all my life, and working at Dolby has been a 15-year journey of many different things that I've worked on. The thing that I'm really excited about here at IBC is all of the things that we've been doing over the past 15 years, coming together with some of these new offerings with Dolby OptiView as well.
So tell me about what Dolby, which by the way I noticed Dolby is everywhere. I don't know if it's a good tagline, but I was doing something on the iPhone and it's Dolby Vision. I'm doing something else, it's Dolby Atmos. So what is Dolby doing for live sports specifically?
Well, we have a vision for live sports that these should be real-time experiences that anyone around the world experiences at the same time, really close to when they happen in real life. And the idea of that is that it enables everybody to interact with the content, experience it at the same time, and feel like they're as close to being there in the stadium, experiencing it together as a group of fans cheering for their favorite team.
But tell me about what is happening with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. I think you announced also something on that side.
Yeah, so Dolby Vision has been in the market for about 10 years. It was actually in development for more than 10 years before that. And so it's been an opportunity to learn how the industry uses the HDR and deeper color technology and really take advantage of the fact that we understand how everybody uses Dolby Vision to create content, distribute it, and then use it on all the different devices that people have in their homes. And so with Dolby Vision 2, we've pushed it forward in probably 3 key areas. The first area is that in content creation, we give you a lot more control over how your content is going to be played back on different devices. So you can choose different ways to present the content depending on the capabilities of the device or the environment that it's going to be played back in. The second thing is that Dolby Vision in its first incarnation was delivered in a world where we had this dream of devices being really good, and that dream has become a reality over the last 10 years. The standard TV that you can buy for your home is actually very high quality and very high performance. And so Dolby Vision 2 enables the TV sets to take advantage of that content and stretch the performance to their highest performance levels as well. And then the last thing is live sports. So number 3 has become a really important focus for us. Live sports delivered in Dolby Vision is much closer to being there. So this is a lot of a theme that we have with live sports, where we want to make it closer to the action. And one of the really interesting things with live sports is the ability to control motion, because we want to enable a really smooth viewing experience with live sports, but we want to avoid the soap opera effect and that really icky look for live content that you can see on the screen when TVs do it themselves.
So basically it's trying to be immersive or become immersive without putting anything on your face, right?
Exactly, and giving the creator the control over how all of that comes together as well.
Let's talk about Dolby OptiView.
Well, we think there's a lot of new stuff in Dolby OptiView as we bring these pieces together. There are a number of key pieces that come together to create the experience. First of all, we have a player that goes on all of the different platforms for playback that consumers use, and that ensures that a Dolby OptiView experience is consistent across all of these different devices. It also gives you control over a different kind of experience depending on the device. So if you have a mobile phone, you probably don't want to have 3 pictures up on the screen at once. But if you have a large TV, you might want to consider that. And we give you control over how those things come together on the consumer's device. The second thing is the live streaming aspect. We deliver low latency streaming anywhere from less than half a second up to 2 seconds, and even incorporating just standard HLS streaming as well. So as a provider, you can choose the level of streaming that you want to use. But this is really all about the experience. If you need a real-time experience that's close to being in the same room with someone or in the same stadium, we can get that latency down to a very low level and at very, very high scale. And then the third thing is about optimizing the way the content is monetized. So our advertising system enables providers to get a much higher fill rate, a much higher CPM, because we deliver the ads through a combination of the player working with the server and then orchestrating everything together to ensure that you get the highest value ads as a provider delivered to consumers. But also with the player as a consumer, you don't get annoyed by the ads as much because we can control how they show on the screen, we can show them to the side, we can enable you to continue to enjoy the live sports action while also experiencing some ads around the side or incorporated into the best way of the content.
So let's do a quick deep dive, which is an oxymoron, but let's try, on the three aspects. First, the video player side.
Yeah.
So in theory, we should be there. Every video player should be amazing. But to be honest, as a consumer, and I've developed apps and streaming apps for many years, since 2007, I'm very often disappointed. So having a good video player, what is the definition of a good modern video player for Dolby OptiView?
Well, I think there's three things for us. So the first thing is compatibility. The player has to work on whatever device it's operating on, and it needs to support all of the different viewing modes and all of those different complexities. And that is a tough development challenge because all of these devices and their platforms evolve all the time, right? The number of ways you can view video on an iPhone is crazy compared to 5 years ago, right? You've got picture-in-picture, you've got overlays, you've got AirPlay, and the player needs to support all of those things and do it consistently. The second thing is quality. It needs to deliver the highest quality possible. It needs to operate in an optimized way to work with the streaming system as well to deliver a higher performance in terms of the bit rates you can achieve, the amount of rebuffering, all of those things. Now, this is a thing that depends on the streaming system as well, but we see our player able to improve those metrics really well. And then the third thing is about giving the provider control over how that player is embedded and controlled within the playback environment.
Second question, latency. It's one of the biggest debate of the industry for 10,000 years. I think when I was talking to your product people, the fact that you connect the latency needed to the use case, it's finally a meaningful discussion. It's not a technology race or I can go on that.
We don't want to try and talk you into half a second latency, which of course is going to be more expensive than 10 seconds latency if your use case doesn't need it. But we also don't want you to have to compromise if you want to deliver half a second latency to a very large number of viewers, because if you want to scale up, we should be there for you and we should be supporting you. So from our perspective, it's just a decision about what you need for your particular audience. And you shouldn't be making choices based on cost and latency not working with scale or some combination of those constraints. It should just work. And the other thing is it should not be a technology decision. Our system just streams what you need at the latency you need using the technology that's appropriate. And we don't need to have customers making those choices for themselves. We can take care of that.
So basically I can have in my apps, if it has multiple use cases, the same video player servicing different use cases without having to integrate the second one or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, and within your service, you might have customers who are really high value customers and you deliver them extremely low latency. Our system may figure out that using one technology is the best way to reach one particular customer because of some aspect of their internet system. All of that should be transparent for you because we should just take care of it.
So the last one is ad tech, whatever we want to call it. I saw the demo and I'm super happy that finally someone gives creatives and companies on the media side a way to differentiate the replacement ad with something different. And it's called SGAI. So I know you know a lot about not the technicalities, but the product side too. So explain what problem SGAI can solve and what opportunity it gives to customer in this space.
Yeah, so the technology under the hood is server-guided ad insertion. Typically, the way ads have been delivered is either the server is doing all of the work to take the ads, insert them into the stream, and deliver a seamless stream to the player. That has some advantages because it's very hard to block from an ad blocking perspective, but it's basically a broadcast approach, right? Everyone, at some level, everyone gets the same ad. You can slice it up a little bit, but not very much. The alternative is the player can do all of the insertion, which is not particularly efficient and requires the player to be doing a lot of work to stitch things together. The sweet spot is in the middle, where the player works with the server to figure out how to insert the right ads at the right time, queuing things up on the back end, but then ensuring that the right ads are delivered at the right time in the best format for the viewer at that moment. One of the benefits of this is that you can deliver the ads a little bit closer to the time that the user is, or the viewer is going to be watching them. And so you can deliver the more high quality ads and the more valuable ads to the viewers as they're operating. And the other thing that we found is that we were able to kind of fill the buffer of ads so that it doesn't run out of inventory more effectively with this approach as well.
And also it gives creativity on the front end. So you can do different things, not only replacing the whole video, and also, I guess, depending on the device, the ad can behave differently, and the region you are, you can serve different ads. So it's kind of, you get a playbook instead of a button to press only.
That's right. And so exactly, you're absolutely right. So that's the way that the ads are delivered. But then how are they presented? That's the really interesting thing, because with the player, we can control, are they side by side? Do they take over the screen? Are they put in an L box to the side of the content? All of these things enable the content provider to have control over that and ensure that the user doesn't get distracted too much by ads while still consuming them. And then I think the other interesting thing is we are showing this primarily with ads as a system for, mixing content with your advertising, but it's just content. So over time, we believe that people are really going to innovate with us in this space and deliver different types of content to different users as they require it. And so personalized experiences that incorporate highlights, advertising, your live game, whatever's interesting to you, that's just over the horizon.
And to be honest, as we are talking about personalized, my personal favorite is when you use that technology for content. I saw it with the highlight popping up for the content experience. That's a very smart use. I really like that.
Yeah, that's right. And the nice thing from our perspective is it's really one system. It's just content that you put into it. So the decisions about what content flows into it are the interesting thing. Our system is just going to be sitting there taking care of all of the technicalities of making that come to life.
I know IBC is the moment where, you put everything together. Maybe NAB is another occasion, many other cases for you. You do a lot of shows, but where do we go from here?
So this is a question that we ask ourselves a lot, of course, is because we're always innovating on what we have and thinking about how to work with our partners to deliver these next generation experiences. We now have this complete system that we've talked about with Dolby OptiView. Our focus now is on supporting our partners to deliver bigger and bigger events. We have sporting partners who are delivering new seasons of their content starting now and streaming that content with them and building up the real scale and the reliability of our system and proving that this can work at scale is one of our priorities, and I think we're on a fantastic path with that. But the other thing that's really important is the innovation in how these content experiences are put together. And we've talked about the ability to use that engine to pull together highlights and all of these alternative content types. I think that's where we're going to see the most innovation, because there's a lot of activity in understanding content. There's a lot of opportunity to bring analysis using AI and all of those kind of data tools together so that we can really deliver something that individuals care about without them having to press buttons and figure out what that is. It just personalizes it for you.